I sure have. I've watched, I think, 4 episodes of it.
Oh, I am so sorry. Mari Crombo Weaves. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 102 of the Anime Protagonist podcast. And on this week's episode, we're doing a quick little check-in midway through the season. See how our shows are going. Mm-hmm. I have big news for you guys about the shows that I drafted.
Oh,
drafted.
Okay. Is the news that you haven't been watching the shows?
And we're also reviewing a Manwha, just so that Jay wouldn't correct me this time. We're gonna review Jungle Juice in our first half, as Jay's suggestion.
Yeah, we told him pick a manga, and he said, "I'm gonna pick a Manwha."
How about I pick a Manwha, and then every time you guys say manga, I correct you. I do the actually pronounced Manwha.
Hold on, I should probably get the thing ready. Keep going.
You know what's the cruelest thing in the world is that you don't have glasses, so you can't do the actually glasses push thing. Mm-hmm. You should just wear like a prop pair, I think.
Yeah,
probably like a move going forward. Yeah, like Cole does sometimes.
Like I do sometimes.
His totally prop glasses.
It's to block out the blue light if I have a headache or something.
It was kind of funny actually because Shazana was playing Pikmin 4 the other day. Mm-hmm. And she has she's at the range where it's like she benefits from glasses, but she doesn't like wearing them like many people. Mm-hmm. And like she had her headphones on, and it was like she's like, "Oh, it gives you a headache having headphones on with glasses on." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, welcome to my world." Yeah. And then she's like, "Well," and then I tried taking them off, and the screen was just that ever so bit blurry now because it's not crystal clear 4K HD like it is with the glasses.
She needs glasses.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you poor
honestly,
little baby."
I feel like everyone at a certain age needs glasses to some degree, but like some can get away with it where others can't.
Well, if you take your glasses off and you're like, "Oh, now it's just a little fuzzy," you need the glasses.
I think I've said this in the Discord before. I think a lot of people don't even realize they need glasses because like you just don't know what you don't know. You don't know what the world could look like.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys are so philosophical with your quotes.
Yeah,
just like our manga.
As Nietzsche once said, ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm. 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 I've actually had my eyes examined.
I'm sure he did at some point.
I think it was 4 years ago. It was 2019.
Why did I think it was going to be when I was like 7?
No.
Yeah,
2019. They said you could use glasses, but you can get away with not wearing them.
Yeah, you're basically the same camp as Shazana then. Yeah. Honestly, if you ever get like headaches or your eyes feel tired and stuff, that's where I find she benefits a lot from it. Me, I'm like literally like I wouldn't be able to see. I can't see 2 feet in front of my face without these 4 eyes here. So yeah,
I spend all day looking at a computer, so it benefits me if I sometimes wear the blue light.
Yeah,
filter.
I've considered getting like blue light filter glasses. Just because of how I think shared a screen.
As someone who wears it all the time, I don't think I want blue light ones because I don't think I want blue light filtering all the time. But yeah, like it'd be nice to have like a pair to put on for like, for example, this where it's nighttime. I'm staring into literal like a two bright computer monitors, and then I have 2 bright lights, like pure white into my eyes, and it's just like this is probably not great to do.
No, it's good for you. It's good. There can't be any downside. Look at how good you look right now with your greasy mustache.
We do have nice, lovely mustaches.
Now, why are we growing these mustaches?
It's Movember.
And
AniPro
we are raising money for men's physical and mental health. There's a link in the description, and it would be so nice of you to donate to the cause. Yeah, we'll touch on that, I guess, a few more times. Maybe not.
We'll see. I don't know. You run the show, so it's up to you, my friend.
We got these silly mustaches. It's a good time.
Speak for yourself.
I'm impressed with Mike's. It's quite impressive. You know what else is impressive?
Tell me.
What's that?
Scrolling through your phone like up while reading comic books.
Yeah.
Manhwa, if you will.
Yeah.
Manhwa.
The Manhwa webtoon format. And it's interesting that you bring that up because I think Jay's got something to talk about.
Oh, do I?
Well, I read a manhwa actually
did you?
this week. Yeah, just organically. It was called Jungle Juice.
Oh, yeah. Was it about like a guy trapped in the jungle who like finds this like weird bottle of juice?
Is this autobiographical for you?
The Jay Gardian story. Jay just drank some like cholera water is what that story's about, and died of dysentery, like a settler on the Oregon Trail.
He's having a Jacob's Ladder situation here.
Yeah.
He's dying. He's having some kind of weird fever dream. There's machine elves everywhere.
All 102 episodes of this podcast have been just a fever dream from his jungle juice.
It's like the Ash Ketchum theory where they think he's in a coma and that's why he hasn't aged at all. Yeah, it's the same.
Well, that's fun.
The same logic.
Did you guys read any manhwa? I hope you did.
I read Jungle Juice because Jay Gardian made me read Jungle Juice. Yes.
Jay, did you?
I didn't. So we're gonna.
He's just
I'm just gonna go. I'm just
intro
gonna go off of memory for this one because I'm caught up.
Okay.
So
I believe that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Jay, why don't you tell us what is the plot synopsis, please?
So for our listeners, we were tasked with reading 12 chapters of this, so I'll go off of the first 12 chapters. So basically it's about this guy, Suchan Zhang, who is basically he's a very popular student at his university, but he hides a very frightening secret of having dragonfly wings.
Oh my goodness.
And he's scared that if anyone were to find out about these dragonfly wings, that they'd see him as a monster. So as the story goes, they do, and he's kind of blacklisted, I guess, by his peers after that. Because of this new revelation, he's kind of like upset that he has these wings, and he kind of goes into a downward spiral until he's invited to this school where he can potentially get this serum or this like magical cure-all panacea called Cinderella that could cure his dragonfly wings. Yes.
His deformity, if you will. Yes.
Deformity, yes.
Yes. Deformity.
Yeah.
It's all a metaphor, bro.
Yeah, for something.
Yeah.
Jay, can you just pull your mic back a little bit? You're kind of clipping a bit.
Never.
Thank you. You sound terrific. You sound like a little cherub angel.
So beautiful.
I figured out why.
You had your
I turned it up while I was in chat with someone else, and then I forgot to turn it back down.
Now you sound just so sweet. So sweet.
Gentle. Yeah. Just like Sujin Park. Was that his name?
Suchan Zhang.
Zhang, there you go.
Oh,
I don't know.
Man,
Manhwa names get me. They really
names.
do.
I'm bad with anime names, Japanese names. So then when we start throwing Korean names in,
Korean names are interesting because generally they're like 3 syllables.
Mm-hmm.
In general, like that's kind of like the naming rule.
Yeah.
So like, what was this guy's name again? Suchan
Zhang. The main girl's name is Huijin Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jay did a good job of like kind of like summarizing sort of what happened without. You kind of have to spoil things with this one without like spoiling anything huge.
It's like
it's just like this. It's the setup, right?
Yeah. It's like the main. It's the main plot of the story.
The driving force.
The main structure of what happens in Jungle Juice.
Yes.
Yeah. The only part of what Jay said, I think that kind of like as I was reading, I was kind of surprised by was like when actually there's kind of 2. I was surprised that the girl, his crush there at the beginning, actually kind of rejected him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that it was going to be like typical thing where it's like, no, you're beautiful the way you are. And no. And then the other thing I didn't see coming was whisking off to Bug Hogwarts.
Bugwarts.
Oh, the nest.
Yeah.
The nasty nest.
Yeah.
They call it.
Because I went in this completely blind. I don't know. I'm sure Cole did as well. Jay.
I had no idea.
Jay has been like trying to get people to read this for like.
I just love it.
Literally forever.
I just talk about every time I read
well,
it.
I mean, spoilers, I guess, for our next segment where we predict our thoughts.
Yeah. If you're in our Discord,
Mike,
Jay's been posting pictures of this forever, so.
Mike, what do you think we thought?
I think Jay hated this manga.
Apt.
And I think Cole thought it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
To echo Mike's thoughts, I also thought Jay hated this manga.
Fair enough.
And that Mike thought it was okay.
Wow, what riveting commentary. Yes.
Jay, what do you think we thought?
This is the more important one, I think.
So
what do you think we thought of your baby?
I thought you both hated it, and you're gonna roast me this entire review.
Way to protect your hearts there, Jay.
Yeah. Expect disappointment.
Yeah.
Achieve your goals.
Exactly. Expect nothing, and it can only go up from there. And I don't think that this would necessarily interest you in reading more manhwa, but maybe you'll check some out in the future because you downloaded the app.
I think this is maybe a good time to actually, because I don't know about Cole, but for me, I haven't read much manhwa. I haven't really read. I tried reading Tower of God when that was airing, and I kind of just it didn't really stick with me for some reason.
Yeah.
I thought it was the format, and this one, it took me a little bit to get used to it too, because it's a different format from manga. And I found by being forced to read the full 12 chapters of this, by the end, I was really appreciating it, because intellectually, I really like the idea of the format of webtoons, where it's literally designed for your phone. It's such a 5 brain, a giant, massive veiny brain.
I think if you're reading this kind of on a PC, it's very different because it doesn't get that.
Oh, I can't even imagine doing that.
you can access webtoon on your browser, and it's it doesn't hit the same as it would if you're reading it on your phone.
Yeah, it's clearly designed for people like Jay, who is constantly on his phone reading some sort of and it's designed for your phone, and it's just a nice experience, I think. Cole, what did you think of the webtoon format?
The webtoon format itself, I echo it. It's definitely a product of our time. We do everything on our phones now, right? So it just makes sense to develop a medium that is specifically designed for that. I saw a print version of this manhwa.
So did I. Yes.
At a bookstore, and I thought, man, this ain't the way to do it. I don't think this story is necessarily developed for that.
The one thing that you do miss, I do find with the webtoon format or the manhwa format, is I like in manga how a full page kind of has you can change up the flow, and sometimes it'll just do a full page art, and it kind of technically it's the same thing as webtoon, right? But it kind of hits different. Just there's a little bit of something about the paneling I like. The thing I like a little bit.
The thing I like about the webtoon format though is how if they're doing a flashback or something like that, they can fade into
you can
black.
Wipe.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it
you can do wipes. It's just a different way of editing print media, which I think is cool, but you wouldn't get that on print media.
I think it also you can simulate movement in a very similar way. If someone's flying and you're scrolling, then it looks like they're moving because you're literally moving it as
ascending or descending. Yeah.
There's a particular panel that kind of is it called panels if it's just a continuous scroll? I don't even know.
I mean they're set up to be you stop and you read.
Yeah. There's one particular panel that I remember where it was I think one of the characters kicked the other character, and it kind of went horizontal for a second, it kind of flipped. But it the way it worked is it kind of made it look like the characters were moving with it. And I just thought that was really cool. As a cool feature of the manhwa format, I'd say.
Yeah. So I'm interested in other manhwa. Specifically for that. I'd like to get different suggestions.
Yeah.
I mean, solo leveling, I feel like is and like
think
Tower of God.
Solo leveling
ones,
and
right?
Tower of, like, I mean, if I tried reading Tower of God and I couldn't get into it. And at the same time, it's also very long. So if you're dissuaded by something like One Piece because it's so long, you might get that same vibe where it's just like, I don't know if I want to read this because it's very long. But like, there are a ton of different webtoons on Webtoon, Tapas, or various webtoon apps that
if anyone has a nice comfy webtoon suggestion for Cole, drop it in the comments or in our Discord, because I feel like he'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that there's one that you think that I'd be interested in, you know, like something like March Comes In Like a Lion, which is the greatest anime of all time, or something
There's
comfy.
the bingo card.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to fill up those spaces.
Yeah. What do you guys think of like this jungle juice though? Like, maybe we should talk about the actual
concept.
Yeah.
Okay. Allow me to heap praise upon this manhwa.
Okay.
Heap your praise, bro.
I really like this concept. It was very out of left field.
Mm-hmm.
The whole concept of this bug spray that essentially Brundle flies everybody into these
Brundle fry.
into these insect human hybrids. There was a little The Fly reference for y'all out there.
Shout out 1991's The Fly.
Yeah, with Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Great movie. I like that. And let's move on.
That's where the praise ends.
I also echo kind of what Cole said. I think it's a cool premise. I kept thinking I knew where it was going, at least in these first 12 chapters. And it sort of did end up, like, once I knew what was happening, it kind of did end up there. And it, how do I put this? It did.
Mike's trying to be nice.
Where I expected, but it surprised me along the way, if that makes sense. Like, it's a pretty generic shonen type plot. I kept thinking of My Hero Academia, and I couldn't help it. It's clearly inspired by it.
My Hero Academia. I thought of X-Men because
I was thinking very X-Men when I first read it.
Where he's
Harry Potter, same thing. It's kind of just like magical abilities gets whisked off to a school for people with these same abilities. It's a tried and true format.
As a layman who doesn't know about it. Yeah.
It's great. It's a great format. It's just like Isekai, really, right? Like, it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah. Which you kind of answered my question. Who's it for? I would say, shonen fans. Shonen fans who are maybe looking for a different way to take in shonen. You like My Hero Academia, but you're kind of over it.
It's familiar enough to people who like My Hero Academia and stuff like that you'll understand it without being like shocked. I would say, but it's different enough that you kind of like get a taste for something different. It's like putting peanut butter on your hamburger or putting mayonnaise on your hot dog. You might not expect it, but it's just a nice little different taste.
We're filling out that bingo card today.
The other one that I thought about was Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because like it has
the body horror
stuff. Just like that, that main character not really accepting who they are, but like being introduced to this new world of not exactly human but like pretty much human people, and like the kind of dichotomy between the insect people and like human society, or the ghoul people in human society, and stuff like that. These first 12 chapters don't really get into like the meat and potatoes of everything. It just kind of like gives you like a little tickle of what this story's about.
Tickle and Jimmy's.
But like in terms of introduction, I think that it was really good. I guess we'll get into like characters and stuff like that in a minute, but
yeah, we will. Jay, I'm not too familiar. Like, is this like a very popular manhwa?
Jungle
like
Juice.
Where is this in terms of where it's on the charts?
So I wouldn't say it's charts. Like as big as something like solo leveling or something like that. I think like even if we're looking at webtoon standards, omniscient narrator or omniscient reader's viewpoint or World After the Fall would probably be more popular than this. But like Jungle Juice, I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag. Jungle Juice is a part of like a big cinematic universe ish.
Okay.
So like it's one part of like a bunch of stories that are all interconnected in this like big unraveling universe. And like the for example, Boichi did a manhwa on Webtoon recently. It's part of the same universe.
Is that why I'm perusing the AniList page for it right now, and I see that it has like a bunch of random things under the other relations?
So that's all part of the same universe as
that's kind of cool.
That said, it's not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe where like if you haven't seen one of the movies, like if you haven't seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, you're gonna be like kind of confused about a couple of other things that happen in like, I don't know.
Are they going to do like an Avengers style like mashup of these? Because that would be sick.
I don't know where this is going, cool. But that would be really cool. But at the same time, I kind of appreciate the isolated story that's being told here as well.
No, I like that concept.
That's a cool idea.
Being like an well, I mean, it's a cool idea, but it's just old school comics.
Yeah. No,
that's
it definitely
like old school DC Marvel comics. Like they were all interconnected.
Yeah. I kept thinking actually as I was reading it that this is very like, and I don't know if it's just because it was full color, and I don't know if it's maybe the dialogue was a little elementary, maybe is the word for it.
Yeah.
But like it kind of reminded me of like reading like a Spider-Man comic when I was a little kid a little bit. Even like the way that the main character like suddenly gets these powers and he's like, "What's going on with my body, bro?" And then it really was very like Marvel-y.
Yeah, it was it kind of wore its influences on its sleeves, I think.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point. What would you say those influences are other than the Marvel old school comics? We've already kind of touched on it. I see a lot of My Hero Academia in this. I see Harry Potter to a certain degree.
I think that's maybe the Western brain there coming in a little bit.
I do know that this was based on like a short story that was released like a while ago, but like I'm not too informed on that. But yeah, it was based on a short story that was written and then adapted into this. So obviously that.
I mean, who could forget Franz Kafka's the Metamorphosis?
I will say
where a man transforms into a bug.
Yeah.
Yes. Under the recommendations on AniList, it does have My Hero Academia, Solo Leveling, and Jujutsu Kaisen there.
Yeah.
Those are all pretty apt. Jujutsu Kaisen's a little more
I don't
dark
see that,
and gritty.
But maybe it gets
similar, but not quite.
I'm not going to comment too much on later stuff because it's spoilers.
Oh, it might get gritty. Okay.
Well,
I can see the potential for grittiness.
I could see the potential for grittiness because there are some characters who kind of eat the bucket, so to speak.
They're the Mantis character that appears. They mentioned like that thing with feeding very briefly.
Yeah.
The more you get into that, the more there's like kind of a darker aspect to it that hasn't really been
darker than him just eating people.
Yeah, it seems pretty dark already. He's killing people and eating them.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Like I think now that I think about it, there's potential there for. Yeah.
I want to say too that we should point out that the artists, the artist who did this, like who did the drawing, I think I heard that they were previously like an adult artist, and I would say that they always are, but like in this one, you can definitely tell like some things are like clearly like a little more suggestive than they maybe should be, or like the characters are a little curvier than they maybe should be. It just seemed very.
I think that a lot of webtoons and manhwa kind of have that like more not adult but
enhanced,
like more suggestive
voluptuous
body type than manga, which like they do have, but like that's mostly reserved for like ecchi stuff.
Yeah, I kept thinking like this feels ecchi even though it's not ecchi at all in a weird way. I kept thinking that, and I maybe it's the character designs, maybe it's the way that everything is. It's just I got that vibe.
Is that something you would change?
No,
would you?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just something I thought we should point out because like it felt ecchi, but it wasn't weirdly.
That was my attempt at a segue.
Oh, yes.
What are some things you would change in this manga? I think this is where we may delve into maybe some of the things we didn't like so much about it. Some of the more negative aspects.
It sounds like you're quite negative on it, so I think maybe you should speak. Your thoughts?
I'm not quite negative on it. There is one thing in it that kind of goes into the characters a little bit as well. Everybody is so goddamn mean, and it bugs me. Everybody is just like mean. His friends when he's in college just like bail on him. His girl that he has a crush on just like bails on him after he saved her life. And then he goes to this school and everybody's just like, we're gonna kill you. So let's have a killing competition.
I understand that. I think like the point of that is on the first front, it's supposed to be like he's seen as a monster because of what he has.
No, I get
because
it,
of who he is.
I just think in like the real world, would that happen? Like,
you know what?
I don't know.
Have seen that in like other stuff, right? Like,
yeah, like
I don't know. That trope bothers me when people are just mean.
Yeah,
like what I would rather see is if people were being nice, but like fakely, and he knows that they're being fake nice.
I think that's maybe the Canadian in you coming out.
No, I just think like there's more depth to that, right? Like he feels now he's uncomfortable because he can tell everybody's just being fake nice to him.
Okay. And you know what? Now that the more I think about it, maybe that's part of what contributed to like the Marvel-y feeling. Because like in comic books, the bad guy is like comically bad, right? And in this, like, there's this one character who like tries to mess with them pretty early on. He's like not the bad guy, but he does a bad thing and he's trying to do things, and it just feels a little like mustache twirling villain. Like it's a kind of a weird plot that doesn't really make sense when you think about it. It's just he's just evil for the sake of being evil.
The pass bully
the pass bully guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I get that the whole concept is the survival of the fittest thing, but could nobody explain this to the new guy?
Well, it's just
the teachers didn't even explain it.
They kind of did. They were like, "This is a school where like if you don't succeed, you die."
Well,
everyone's here for orientation. Yeah. Now let's begin, and everybody just runs out, and he's like, "What? Like, could we not go over what orientation was? This is clearly not a normal orientation." Just things like that, you know. Give him a note.
I think that
give my guy a note.
More than it bothered me, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think it bothered me enough to be taken out of it. Just because I think it was more of a it was more of like a vehicle to tell what it was trying to tell rather than like being unrealistic. If that makes sense, like sometimes.
And Jay, don't be shy. Like we know you like this manga. Don't be afraid to gush.
Look, I like it. Obviously,
Manwha, sorry,
but I want to let you guys talk about why you don't like it because that's fair. But like I just saw it as like more of a vehicle to tell the story they were trying to tell rather than like trying to be realistic because like sometimes hyper realism in a story is boring.
Yeah,
right.
No, I get that. What it is though is it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, no, that's
what it comes down to.
Fair.
I think. Yeah,
and I would point out too that it is quite well received online too. Like the average score is kind of like an 8 out of 10. So I
am not trying to take away from it because like I do see why it's popular. It's just these are my thoughts.
Yeah, no, you're entitled to your opinion. You're just wrong.
Wow.
Nice. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. He's
Now,
turning
Jay,
it
tell
around
us why
on
this
me.
is the greatest slightly horny manhwa
the
ever.
thing that I like the most about Jungle Juice is the characters, and kind of like Suchan's whole thing about like I don't want to be seen as a monster. I like if I let people see this one part of me, will I be accepted? Will these people accept me? And then like he goes to this school where like he is accepted and he is seen as like just another person. The one downside I have with the story, and I hope they kind of amend this as the story goes on, and I think they will, because it's the cliche, but like his whole motivation for being at this school is to get, like I said, to get that Cinderella MacGuffin panacea that would cure his wings, and like that kind of paints his thing in like a negative light. And like I can definitely see that like mentality of like this thing that I have is a bad thing initially, but like as someone who would want to read it who might relate to that, I think like the message that should be taken away is like it's good.
It's the classic X-Men.
Yeah.
It's a clear like I joked earlier that it's a metaphor, but it actually is supposed to be. Yeah, no, it
absolutely is.
It's pretty clearly like, oh, this thing that I think makes me a hideous freak that everyone hates me for is actually my best power.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the whole point, and it's a good thing. Like it's
and like I really appreciate how it how it handles that, because I think it does it rather earnestly, rather than just like doing it for the sake of having a thing. And the more the story goes, it gets more into like everyone's complex and everyone's own thing and that, and I think it's done rather well.
Yeah. Mike, you didn't really comment on any negative aspects or...
See, this is one where, so I think Cole probably, now that we've spoken a bit, I think maybe you I wouldn't say like hated it or didn't like it, but maybe I'd go as far as to say like it just didn't resonate with you.
I enjoyed reading it. It's one of those things where it was nagging in the back of my head. It's like, I would change this. No. Little things like that.
I think like even if you like something, having those thoughts of like, is there something I'd change? Is there something I'd do different? And like I spoke about like I hope that it goes in a certain direction, not the other direction. So like I get that.
I'm gonna quick interrupt Jay here and go on I'm gonna get on my soapbox here.
Get on your soapbox.
You can criticize something without disliking it or thinking it's bad.
Yeah.
It's okay to criticize things. I don't hate something because I criticize it.
What are we even talking about right now?
You just when you were talking there about like the little voice in the back of your head, and it's like you're worried that like it comes off that you hate it. I feel like anytime people criticize anything on the internet or talk about anything, and even they point out a negative thing or something they didn't like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're just a hater. You hate this thing. But you can talk negative about something in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know,
it's constructive criticism. It's literally the definition.
It's just I didn't want to convey that because I was just pointing out negative things.
I mean like, and
I hadn't really.
Honestly,
it's fine.
Honestly, Cole, as I was reading it, I was getting the impression like I don't think Cole would vibe with this as much, because I know you don't vibe with stuff like My Hero Academia, really.
Well, it's probably just too shonen for Cole's mature taste at this point.
Yeah, I'm too sophisticated. We are running a little long.
Real quick before we give our final rating, I'm actually curious now that you because you brought up that it's a shonen thing. Were you surprised? No, like finding out how shonen it really was that I was into it.
I honestly had no idea what this was going to be. So in terms of I wasn't surprised whether or not you would like it. No, because
you like My Hero Academia. I thought
you like shonen
of
stuff.
course Jay likes this. It's very similar to stuff Jay likes.
Yeah. Fair. No, this was on in your wheelhouse, my perceived wheelhouse. You have a wide berth of tastes, which includes shonen.
But it's like it's certain types of shonen. It has to be kind of and I'm not meaning this as an insult, it's going to sound like one, but like kind of childish shonen a little bit. Like it's a
comic booky.
Yeah, comic booky. Whereas like I lean more towards like the grittier side of things. It's just the way it's just the taste, right? Yeah. No, this definitely I'd say I was not shocked that you enjoyed this.
Do we have best boy? Quickly.
Yeah, the main guy, I guess. Or actually, no, that teacher with with gray hair and the explosiveness. Yeah, he's sweet. He's cool.
He's one of my favorite characters in the manhwa.
He's awesome.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's the All Might character.
And I'm just gonna interrupt, Cole. You never actually let me tell you what I thought of this a little bit. You asked me, and then
Jay kind of went off,
yeah.
and then yeah.
I did. I will say I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's enough. I enjoyed it enough to keep reading it.
That's fair.
The 7 to 8 out of 10 does feel like a fitting for me type of range for this. Like it's good. I see the benefits, but is there better things that I'd rather read? Because I don't read too much manga to begin with or manhwa, so like I don't know if I will slot this into my rotation. Yeah. Anyway, best boy, Professor G. Is that what you said his name was?
Yeah.
Yes. What about you guys?
I'll just go with main guy. I don't know, like he was fine. A little unlikable at the beginning about how he was kind of going off about how cool he was and how awesome he was, and then he kind of I like him after his
breakdown,
his crash.
His reveal.
Yeah. Jay?
I kind of want to go, it's kind of tough to rate it off of the first 12 chapters, knowing what I do about like the later stuff. But I think like I gotta go with Suchan just because of like what I know about him. He's great.
It's hard. It's always hard not to pick the main character, right? It's kind of the whole point of things.
Yeah. Like I probably could have also gone with Professor G. But I don't think, like, if I'm looking at just what we got here, I don't think we got enough of him and what's going on with him to really finalize that opinion.
What's the deal with Professor G? What about best girl? I mean, there's only one girl in the show.
No, that's not true at all.
That's not true at all.
Manhwa.
There's 3 that I can think of off the 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. There's Scorpion Girl.
Okay.
There's the girl, the president there that saves him. There's the girl that he likes in the beginning with the pink hair there. And there's the evil girl. With the mind control. Those are the 4 I can think of off the top of my head that stood out. And if I had to pick one of them, I'm probably going with Hoojin Park, the president girl there, because her character design is quite nice. She is a very well designed character. Yes.
I'm gonna go with Scorpion Girl because I vibe with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of has that Genki girl type vibe. Yeah.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. She has like
she's got like the badass.
Yeah, she's got
vibe.
like that I'm gonna step on you vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, does she? I got the vibe that she was like the streamer girl from Rent a Girlfriend type vibe, just kind of like zany a little bit.
No, she's always fighting with the that other dude.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different character then. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going with her, even though maybe something happens after that I haven't read yet.
Oh.
So don't say anything. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, I'm Huijin. I mean, I love her design. I love where her character goes. I guess I can't really talk about that because we're only talking about the first 12 chapters, but like
suppress your
gushing
elite brain.
I think at the same time, like we just got the most out of Huijin compared to everyone else in terms of characterization. At this point. So yeah, I'm going with
let's
Huijin.
rate this bad boy and then move on to the next segment. Yeah.
I will go with a background character.
Okay.
Background character for this one.
I will go with a background character as well. This is
perfectly inoffensive, entertaining even, but nothing.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, maybe crazy for it.
Yeah.
Jay.
Well, this is where I go with protagonist, and I do the thing. I said do the thing.
Am I the only anyone who
there we go.
understands the complexities of this ambitious cinematic masterpiece? This movie isn't stupid. You're stupid.
It's not a movie. It's a manhwa, Jay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, Jay.
Well, I only get the
Yeah,
one
Jay.
static sound in the soundboard, so you get what you get. But
no, that's I appreciate it. I like it when we stand up for we stand.
no,
things,
I
and
mean,
it's
like,
fun when you wear your heart
I'm
on your
not going to
sleeve.
say, I'm not going to say like, oh, this is the perfect story or like this is the best story ever written or anything, because I don't think anyone here
doesn't have to
is
be.
trying to say that. But what it has is like it has a lot of heart. It has a lot of like interesting and well designed characters and good art. I love the concept, and the fights are really good. And just like seeing this story unfold past it, I think is worth your time, especially as the characters start to relationships develop and they get closer and things like that happen.
What's going to be worth our time next, Michael?
Let
what is
me
our
tell
next
you.
manga?
Our next, just one last thing on this the Jungle Juice. I don't know if all manhwa does this, but I appreciated that like every chapter had like a little like content warning at the beginning. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was neat. I'm like, warning, this one deals with
A lot of
thoughts
them
of
do.
death.
A lot of them do.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good thing to do. Okay, so our next review. I'm going to give you guys some hints and let's see if you can figure it out before I reveal it. It is one of the greatest manga of all time. It came out in 2023. It's the 8th highest rated manga of 2023. It is the 268th most popular manga of all time, but it's the best manga of all time. To date, there are 7, now when you listen to this, 8 chapters out of it.
It's Kagurabachi.
Boys, we are reviewing the greatest new gen manga of all time, and it beats everything. I haven't read it yet. Kagurabachi, the manga.
The moment you said it's the best manga of all time, it appeared into my mind. I was like, oh, he's memeing. He's absolutely memeing.
This has been in the back of my head for a while that we should review this on the pod, because there was a bunch of memes that went out there about Kagurabachi.
Yeah.
It was like 2 chapters out, and people were saying it was like the best manga of all time.
People were saying that like before it came out. Like it was ridiculous. As someone who's
the
caught
memeing
up,
is so funny.
as someone
for
who's
it.
caught up, I think you'll like it, Mike.
Wait, save it, Jay.
Okay. Last time we predicted what we would think.
Yeah.
I think Mike will like it. Knowing a bit about it, I think Mike will like it. Cole,
I've heard it's Jujutsu Kaisen but less flashy, so we'll see.
Yeah. Cole, I think he will enjoy parts of it, but I don't think he'll love it.
Let's find out in approximately 4 weeks.
Approximately 4. Well, yeah. It'll be scheduled for 4 weeks.
Give or take.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Let's see what happens. It's time for the mailbag.
It's mailbag time. If you want to send us a mailbag, you can do so on our Discord or at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag. This week's mailbag is a patron priority mailbag. Wee woo from Peach. She wants to know, what Olympic sport do you think you could excel in for funsies? Pick a summer and a winter sport. So the three of us, the pinnacle of human athleticism.
Mustache. Oh yes, athleticism.
Human athleticism. Is sleeping an Olympic sport?
That is not an Olympic sport.
Try
again.
I probably fail at that too anyway.
You actually you usually do fail at the sleeping thing too.
Yeah, no, it's the waking up part he usually fails at.
No, but he also doesn't go to bed till like very late too.
Yeah.
Because he can't sleep, he claims.
Mike, do you have one?
I'm gonna say
Let's go with the summer one first.
Oh, summer? Okay, I had thought of a
you had winter?
one.
Okay, we can go winter first. Sure.
I think I would excel at skeleton. Now, most people don't know what skeleton is. It's you know what bobsled is? Mm-hmm. It's essentially the same track as bobsled, except you go face first on a little tiny like crazy carpet skid thing. It is terrifying and horrifying. I am long and thin and quite heavy. So I think I would excel at it just because of gravity does its thing, and I am aerodynamically shaped. So
It's
I
like
think that
luge. It's like
Yeah.
luge, but faced first.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a better one. It's like luge, but they might not know what luge is. But anyway, yes.
It's a one-person sport. Bobsled is usually 2 or 4.
Yeah. But everyone knows bobsled. That's yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think you'd be good at in the Winter Olympics?
Winter sport. I'm gonna go with curling because
that's a good one.
Low
Chill.
impact.
Yeah.
Can I be the guy
Curling's
sweeping
hard though.
during?
Well, you do everything, Jay.
Oh, do you do everything? I thought it was just
you cycle through.
I thought it was just the raw. Okay, I don't curl.
Okay. No, you cycle through. You throw 2 and then you'll sweep and then you.
I just know that people yell "hurry hard" all the time.
Hard.
They do.
Hard.
With curling is
the
sneaky.
Canadian
Like
accent.
it's sneaky. One of like the most. You wouldn't think it's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But man, do you get invested when you watch it and you kind of understand it. Basically, the whole point is it's basically shuffleboard. It's the same game.
It's ice
basically.
shuffleboard.
Except
shuffleboard.
The shuffleboard is
Gigantic.
An ice
and
rink,
the rocks
you're
are
using
heavy.
the rocks are made of granite and they weigh like 50 pounds. It runs in my blood. My dad was a competitive curler in his youth.
Curling's big where we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, are you also a curler?
I am not, but I was
Figure skater?
I was gonna go with bobsledding actually.
Yeah,
because I'm not.
I could see
make a
bobsled.
One because I'm not alone.
The 3 of us could make a bobs.
Because I'm not
bobsled
alone,
team.
and 2 because I'm Canadian and I've gone sledding a lot.
You know what? Let's just officially say the 3 of us in AniPro, we would make a good bobsled team.
Yeah.
That's the actual answer here.
Yeah.
Bobsled.
Yeah.
Cool runnings, I'd say.
Cool runnings.
Yeah.
Except ours will be pink and purple.
Yes. To match the theme.
Our cart will be pink and purple.
Summer, I'm going to go
Summer
javelin.
Olympics.
I'm going to throw something pretty far.
Javelin?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Put the rage in the arm,
Yeah.
Throw a heater. Yeah.
Summer Olympics. Let's go with.
There's also like the running ones. I'm more of an endurance athlete than a sprinter too. So like I could do like a long distance run.
A long distance run, eh?
Yeah. Jay's Googling what sports are in the Summer Olympics right now.
No,
Yeah.
I want to see if certain one, and so I Googled because I was curious and I thought it was in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So I wanted to
yes.
I wanted to confirm it. And so I Googled is billiards an Olympic sport, and I didn't get like a big description. All I got was the word no.
No, you idiot.
No, you idiot. Yeah. That's Google's way of telling you no, you idiot.
Yeah.
I like it.
If we're not clear here, I don't watch the Olympics like ever.
Not really a sports guy.
I don't really
WWE.
watch sports ball. But I think archery and fencing were both Summer Olympic sports.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure. Summer Olympics, I'm less familiar with. Too,
Archery is.
Archery definitely is.
I'm gonna go with archery.
Well, so is fencing. They both are.
I'm gonna go with archery.
You lose to Kaguya, Shinomiya, and archery.
Yeah.
I will go with equestrian riding.
Sure. Yeah, let her rip.
Ride a horse and around. Then what are the 3 of us doing? What's a 3-person sport we could do?
Basketball.
Sure. Basketball famously a 3-person sport.
Well, I mean, you could do 3-on-3, but
I don't think there are many. I guess relay is pretty much the only one that's like a full 3-on. Like you could do a team.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. That one's harder.
I don't know. We have one final thing before we go to break, and I'm not
studio
scrambling.
Time.
It's studio time. I am not scrambling to find a studio.
No? Should one of us?
No.
Oh, okay. You guys are, again, unprepared for this moment. You know what? I am as well, but it's pretty easy. This one's easy. You just think of studios you like. I just have to check which ones we've actually nominated before to make sure I don't pick one of them.
That's the problem. That's the problem. No, that one's already picked. No, we've got all the good ones.
Oh, I've got one. If you want me to just go,
I got one too. You can go first. Though.
Oh, okay. My nomination for this week is Studio Bones.
I'm glad you didn't take the one I was going to take.
Yeah,
that's good.
I adore Studio Bones, and I think that it'll be a good studio for this.
It'll be gooder,
tourney.
yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah, because
What
Jay
about you,
actually
Mike?
knows what we're doing too, and I completely forget too, so it's interesting. I'm gonna go with a little old studio that people may have heard of called Madhouse. They're this little indie studio. People they make a few good anime that including Frieren this season, and I'm excited to see what they do in this tourney here.
I've heard of that one. That would have been a good segue for our second half. But I'm gonna go with Cloverworks, which makes anime like Bocchi the Rock.
Yep.
Half of Spy Family.
Half of Spy Family and half of
Some other stuff.
Season
I
1
think
of
they make a lot of
Horimiya.
a Kebi Sailor uniform.
Sure.
Why that sticks out in my head, I don't know.
Wonder Egg Priority.
We have a very important thing to discuss.
Oh.
If you notice in the description, we have a little code down there. You're going to click on that link. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to click on that link down there. That link and the code AniPro will get you $5 off your order from the sponsor, Tokyo Treat.
Oh, okay. I was like, where's Cole going with this? He sent them to our website, our Discord? What's going on?
No, there's a link down there.
Oh,
you
he's
like
talking
treats?
about, the sponsor for this month, Tokyo Treat.
You like tweets? You like tweets? You like snacks? Get $5 off a box from Tokyo Treat. And also, don't forget about Movember. We're collecting money this month for men's prostate cancer research, testicular cancer research, and men's mental health and suicide prevention. All very important stuff. Let's go to an
Break.
Welcome back to the Anime Protagonist Podcast. We're back from a break where we had a wonderful break where we didn't fight at all or say anything bad ever.
No, didn't make fun of each other's Subway sandwich picks. Comment your Subway sandwich pick, by the way, in the comments if you're watching on YouTube.
Seriously, drop your Subway sandwich pick.
You know what's kind of surprising? I don't think that many people actually like Subway.
What?
I think you're very wrong.
Subway's like the biggest fast food. Subway is the biggest fast food franchise in the world.
Every time I hear people talk about Subway, it's always, I hate Subway.
Oh, you're just hanging around with
they're
haters.
just haters.
You're haters.
Yeah, they're
You
just
got
haters.
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 Subway is not the best sandwich you'll ever have, but it certainly is sustenance.
It's
and
good.
It's good.
I like Subway.
Convenient.
Yeah.
It's good and convenient.
When you don't want something like a greasy burger or something, you got a nice sandwich there. Yeah.
I mean, I like Mr. Sub up here in Canada.
Yes.
Mr. Sub's good.
Quiznos I do enjoy better than Subway too.
Quiznos,
Quiznos
they're a little
fine.
harder to find though in this huge, humongous city
in
that
our
we
neck
live
of the
in.
woods.
This metropolis.
What were we supposed to talk about this episode again?
We're actually
favorite sandwiches.
We're actually supposed to go home and not talk about this ever again.
We're all home.
Yeah, we're actually supposed to discuss the seasonal check-in. It's mid-season. That means we're going to go through our draft that we did, and we're going to talk about the shows that we were tasked with watching. And my big news for this time is I am actually watching everything.
No way!
I have watched an episode of every one of my shows. I'm a big, strong man. I am capable of hosting an anime podcast. What about you,
I
gentlemen?
don't believe you.
I'm not watching all of my shows. There's one show I haven't watched, but I have a good reason. Hear me out. I have a good reason.
Yeah,
we'll get to it when we talk about. We're gonna go through
enough.
our draft order, I think, right? So we can recap how good or bad we are.
I'm caught up on all my shows.
Oh, you're caught up.
Caught up on everything. True Sigma J.
Wow. He is above us all. Let's run through our draft. We're going to start with the last pick that was made in the draft, which was Michael's fifth pick, which was Ragna Crimson, a show that I know Mike is super excited to watch. How far into this are you, Michael?
Oh, this must feel good for you right now, hey? Doing what we usually do to you. Okay, I haven't watched any of this show yet, but as I alluded to, I have a good reason. I gave this one to myself as one of the watch party shows, and we're going to be watching it, I think, actually the week this episode comes out, the following
on the
Sunday.
19th, yeah.
Yeah. So this Sunday, if you're listening to this within the week it comes out, we're going to watch Ragna Crimson in the Discord. Come check it out. Hang out with me. We're going to watch it. Have fun. I've heard from Jay, though, that this show is pretty good. I've heard good things online, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of...
Jay, are you watching this one?
Yes, I'm caught up on it. And let me tell you, boys, there was a moment from this most recent episode. So far, moment of the season.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
play that drop again.
Yeah. Play that drop again. Oh, you
guys are counteracting here. Okay, so yeah, it's good. The animation looks good from what I've seen too. I've heard the
really
story's
good.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's like very typical shonen story, but like it's accented by like top-notch production. So
yeah,
I know nothing about it, so I'm looking forward to. I think I'm hosting that.
I think Cole is hosting.
Is it Cole? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there though, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope you're there.
I hope so too. I have a trip coming up soon, so I don't remember when exactly that is. So,
I hope that's mine too, because I've got my Christmas party coming up for work too. Jay, your last pick that you made was a little show called Shy.
Mm-hmm.
Shy.
Yeah, I'm caught up on the show as well.
Really?
I really like it.
Are you enjoying this show?
I am enjoying the show. I am kind of teetering off a little bit because like that superhero fatigue is kind of setting in.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah,
but like I think if you're into superhero stuff, you will be into this, and if you're into like cute girls doing cool things, you'll be into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is it kind of shonen-y a little bit?
Yeah, it is.
It seemed like
shonen.
it would be a little like superhero, like kind of like we were saying, My Hero Academia, Marvel.
It's basically like an alternative to My Hero Academia, but
except they're not in school.
Yeah.
Like the concept is different. Every country has its own superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the
cool.
Russian superhero, despite things, is awesome.
The best
I love
girl.
the Russian
Russia
superhero.
has way too much good representation in anime.
Yeah. I watched the first episode of Shy. Shy was surprisingly good. Like I didn't expect the animation and stuff to be as good as it is. I have only watched the first episode though, so I don't have too much to say about it.
Kind of my impression of this season so far, and I think me and Jay have talked about this a little bit, is it's maybe the highs. There's always a few standouts every season, but like not every show is like a fantastic show this season, but there's a lot of good shows.
Yeah,
and I think this falls in that category from what I've seen.
Definitely. And then moving on to my final pick of the draft was Stardust Telepath.
Yes, this is what I thought for sure you hadn't watched yet.
No, I actually watched the first 2 episodes of it, and it is comf. It is cute. It is good. I like it. I'll continue watching it for sure, I think. I think, being the operative word there. It's just main girl can't talk to people. She meets somebody who says they're an alien, and they build rockets, which is nice.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what? When you drafted this one, when I was looking at it and trying to figure out what it was about, I had no idea what this show was going to be about. So that's.
I just
is she
drafted
actually a telepath? The girl who can't talk to people?
She had no, it's not the girl who can't talk to people. It's the alien girl who can read her mind.
Is also a telepath. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
It's good. I would check it out if you like the Yuru camp, if you like the
it kind of seems
like that.
just from how I'm hearing it, it kind of seems like a little bit like just cute girls doing cute things Komi can't communicate.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sounds like if you like those shows, like you're gonna like this.
Yeah, exactly. Now here's a real winner coming up here.
Here we go.
Mike went and drafted this absolute gem called KamiErabi God app.
Yes.
Mike, have you watched any of this one?
I sure have. I've watched, I think, 4 episodes of it.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Now, here's something I'm gonna bring up 2 things here.
I never wanted to watch it. I never wanted to. And
you did
I'm
so.
just,
You said you wanted to take.
No,
you were like,
never,
I might steal this from you.
No, I never would ever watch this.
I'm glad
And
I
knew
was
it
just
would be bad
completely silent
always.
during that discussion. I could just wipe my hands clean and say I got the W.
On this episode of Cole Tries to Gaslight Michael.
Yeah. Cole is doing a little bit of revisionist history here. But anyway, beside the point, it's
Hold on, guys.
KamiErabi God app.
I told you my gaslighting joke, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely have. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah,
you definitely did.
Yeah, you definitely did. I heard that. This show is created by the guy who I think did Nier Automata, Taro Yoko or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of just, when I drafted it, I was kind of like, this seems like an interesting show. I didn't realize it was full CG. But you know what? The full CG actually doesn't really, it's actually kind of works for this. I don't think it's too bad.
Okay.
There are some janky things, definitely. There are times when it does look bad, I would say. But
Really?
like on the whole, that's not the reason why I didn't enjoy this show, and that's not the reason it's rated a 46% on AniList.
That's abysmal.
That is.
I mean,
it is
honestly, anime of the year.
Yeah, it's pretty
in
bad.
the middies.
Yeah.
The problem is the characters are just all unlikable, kind of like what Cole was talking about earlier. You kind of don't want anyone to win this death game. You want them all to just die, I guess. They want to win the death game in that way.
It's like those horror shows where like you want the killer to get everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cheering for Jason.
Yeah.
Voorhees.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not, I don't know if it really earned that 46%. I think the full CG thing, and I think the like overly edgy, and then the first episode starts off with like extremely questionable material. Like the main character like he accidentally uses his like God app powers to like basically sexually assault someone. No, like literally sexually assault someone, which is not great. And I'm sure that just all those things bundled up into one added up to this being not a great pick.
I wouldn't be surprised if a ton of people just like the moment they saw CG were just like, nope, one.
Yes, that definitely happened too. I don't. The premise is interesting enough, but I just can't bring myself to watch more of this.
What's with the death game animes recently too?
There's
Squid
always
Game.
at least one or two.
Yeah. What has Squid Game and Mirai Nikki unleashed on this world?
The same thing SAO unleashed on this world.
Yeah.
I know that they've always been around, but it just seems like there's been lots of them recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, have you watched this at all? I haven't.
Look, man,
No, don't watch it.
I have only enough bandwidth to watch so much. I'm not starting something that's like
No.
critically
Yeah, but it's so bad
panned.
though. I'm curious. Jay, your next show was it just says 100 Girlfriends.
The 100 Girlfriends who really, 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 really love you.
Okay.
Do you really, 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 really love this show?
This show's
Great
amazing.
song.
This
Great
show's
song.
great. This show's great. I called it Girlfriend, but turned up to 11, and that's like literally what it is. It's off the wall, slapstick, ridiculous. Somehow every one of the girlfriends has like has great chemistry with the main character though. And like it's just like great rom-com seinen fun.
Seinen?
It's seinen.
Seinen?
It's in Young Jump. It's in the same magazine as I think Golden Kamui's also in it.
That's really pushing.
I don't want to get started on the whole seinen.
It's in a seinen magazine, so it's seinen.
I know. So I'll save that for the next podcast.
You'll save it for
I'm
the
curious-
seinen discussion
For
podcast.
shonen discussion, yeah.
I am curious about this one. I just haven't gotten around to it. I see the screenshots from it on Insta and stuff like that.
I've seen them. I've
All
seen
the
memes
girls
and
look
Honestly,
cute and
Cole,
stuff.
I think you'd like it.
probably would.
Knowing how much you like Girlfriend, I think you'd like this show.
But Girlfriend is already perfect.
Yeah, but Cole, what if it was more perfect?
It can't be.
Yet. But check out this show. And then
you
you'll
know,
change your
one
mind.
of the biggest flaws of Girlfriend is there's only like 4 girls.
What
if there was
100 of
25
them?
times that amount?
Mike, are you at all interested in this one?
No, not at all.
Yeah. It absolutely like it knows what its audience is, and like I know that that's not Mike.
Yeah. Now this one Mike is definitely the audience for this one, and that is the masterpiece, the piece de resistance of this season, and that is Girlfriend season 2. I have watched 3 episodes of it. Despite it being on like episode 6 now at this point. Yeah, it's just the bandwidth issue. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the 3 episodes I've watched. The Shino is becoming more of a character. She's becoming more prevalent to the plot.
Which one's Shino, the gray hair girl? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of her arc right now, and it. I mean, it's girlfriend. What more can you say? It's goofy. It's over the top.
Now that we're on the topic of girlfriend, I could talk about this. Did you two know that the author of Girlfriend and the author of Rent-A-Girlfriend are like best friends?
That checks out.
Yeah.
Did you know that the authors of Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Attack on Titan are all also really good buddies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also checks out.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a theory that the author of Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man are the same person?
There was a rumor of that. Yeah. I don't think that's physically possible, but
no, it was.
The author of Chainsaw Man also pretends to be his own little sister on Twitter. So
yeah, he's a weird guy. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that Twitter account got banned actually too.
It did,
you guys are derailing my.
Sorry, Girlfriend, the best anime ever made. Continue, Cole.
It's good. Jay, I'm not even going to bother asking Mike. Jay, have you watched any of Girlfriend season 2?
I want to get to it, but like, look,
you got a lot going on.
100 Girlfriends is
got
just
25
like,
more girls.
It's exactly what I want from Girlfriend, but just better.
I don't know how it could be better.
Cole, come to the watch party. We probably already did the watch party by the time this came out, so I don't think we can really advertise it.
Is that tomorrow as of recording?
That's tomorrow, yeah.
So we definitely did it. This episode is
we definitely did.
Yeah.
Well, find out at the watch party. You know what? No, I can't wrap my brain about. But
you know what, Jay? I know I sounded very uninterested in your show. This Girlfriend and 100 Girlfriends I could see myself watching when I just want some kind of like ecchi romp.
So
it's just goofy.
100 Girlfriends is a lot more like a slapstick parody than Girlfriend, which like it doesn't take itself seriously at all.
The nuances of Girlfriend, which is notorious for taking itself very seriously.
It was a slapstick comedy.
It was slapstick.
Go back and listen to our review of it.
Which one's more slapstick?
100 Girlfriends literally tries to break the fourth wall at every chance it gets.
Oh, I do always appreciate a fourth wall break.
I do like
it's very meta.
Joke. Yeah. Mike, you've got Undead, Unluck. Again,
famously
another show
not in Canada.
What?
It's only available on Hulu. If you can access Hulu, that's the only way you can watch this show. Undead Unluck by Studio David Productions. And let me tell you, this show is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. It doesn't, you know how like David Productions has like that kind of JoJo over the top vibe to a lot of the stuff they do? It kind of carries into this, and I think Jay actually told me, he's like, I think you'll like it, and it kind of has like the vibe you go for, that zany, weird, like just strange but like interesting show. That's kind of what I'm into, and that's what this show is.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's like the main character can't die. He's been around for a long time, and the main girl there is super unlucky, and anyone who touches her, it gets like a wicked dose of unluck, it's called, where like something horrible happens to them. And then basically the unluck is like ramped up to by her feelings. So like if she cares about the person and they physically touch her, their luck gets even worse. So the only criticism I have so far is that it adds, this whole thing has led to basically for a while there, it was like, oh, I'm just going to like rip off my shirt and touch you, and then that's going to give you some bad luck. But like the fights in this show are so cool, the character designs are so cool, the animation's really well done. It honestly is a pretty great show so far. I'm definitely going to continue this one.
I like that concept too.
It's cool.
I wish I could watch it.
And there's like a league of villains who all have these, like, I forget what they're called, but they're like basically kinks that
Thank you.
They're all they all have like a downside, and like it's just this like a weird ability they have. And there's like a team there's only like 8 positions on the team, and like one of them has to die so that another person can join. And it's really just like a cool, interesting story. Yeah, basically like the Hashira, except you can kill one and become a Hashira.
So like the demons, the demon equivalent.
More like the demons,
the upper moons or whatever they're called.
Yeah. It's cool show. I definitely will continue watching it.
It probably has like one of the most creative power systems in a shonen.
VPNs, man.
It is like super creative and interesting. I agree with you, Jay. Like if you like Dorohedoro, JoJo's, just those kind of like zany, it's definitely in like the comedy camp, because it's like it does not take itself seriously even for a minute. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now, Jay, I want you to tell me about this season's best girl, Delta. Eminence and Shadow.
Delta is not best girl.
Delta is clearly best
close.
girl.
No,
pretty close.
No, it's not even close. Okay, now Jay, tell me about
Please
Eminence.
talk about the show, Jay.
Eminence and Shadow.
We're not going to argue about it because I'm right and you're wrong.
Eminence and Shadow. I'm very surprised that Nexus decided to make Eminence and Shadow a 5-minute short this season, because like there's so much to cover, but for some reason they just decided to have every episode be 5 minutes long.
What the hell are you talking about? I'm up to date on this show. The episodes are certainly long. Are you just saying that because like it's been such a fun ride for you? It feels like 5 minutes?
Yes.
Thank you for explaining the joke.
Thank you. Thank you.
This show is so much fun. It's more Eminence and Shadow, so like if you've seen season 1, you know what you're gonna get for season 2, but like I'm enjoying the ride so much, and like I'm so excited to see where we go from here. I know where we go from here. What am I saying? But like,
yeah, because you've read the light novel for this one, right?
I'm caught up on the light novel, but like at the same time,
what is caught up? How many volumes is that?
Volume 4 out in North America, but volume 6 just came out in Japan.
And then so the anime is currently on, like, I'm guessing volume 2 or 3?
Volume 3, yeah.
Okay, so it's almost caught up to the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then volume 4 is when the Reddit argument happens, which I'm looking forward to.
The Reddit argument.
Yeah. The Reddit argument. Famous Reddit argument.
And it ties back into the intro stuff from the first episode, so.
Mike, are you keeping up with this one?
I am, yeah, and it's cool because High Dive is actually doing like a true simul dub where like the dub and sub come out the same day, which I appreciate as a fan of dubs, and it's kind of a fun show. I put this one on a lot of the time when I'm like, I just want like a little bit of fun, weird, zany. It's not really as zany as Undead Unluck would be. It's kind of like. The show, it kind of like really wears its heart on its sleeve, where like the main character is like this edgelord, like chuny type guy, but he's actually just kind of like a dork, like a
that's the
fun
joke.
Yeah.
It's funny, but
I mention this all the time. Like if it has like one main joke that kind of serves as the spine of the show, and if that joke doesn't land for you, you're probably not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think the girls in this show probably make it what it is more than the main character does.
Yeah, they're all kind of diverse.
Yeah,
and Delta is in it.
I think Jay likes I think he likes Beta or something. I think
Beta's really good. Alpha's
She's the
also
elf
good.
With the silver hair. Elf with silver hair always wins in Jay's books. Yeah, Alpha's good too.
Gonna be the Alpha.
Yeah, I liked Alpha in the most recent episode too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Delta has lots of good moments this season though. She's growing on me. Yeah.
Okay. Now we get to talk about good shows like Ancient Magus Bride season 2 part 2. Great show. I'm loving it. I don't know what's happening. The OP is good.
What do you mean you don't know what's happening?
There's like a whole mystery aspect to this season, and
so it's a good thing you don't know what's happening.
Yes, it's a good thing that I don't know what's happening. Chisei is. Elias isn't really in this season at all. He's been in a couple scenes.
Interesting.
So it's really, really focusing on Chisei. Go figure. She is the main character, but without the Elias side
I have a hard time like picturing this show without Elias in it because I know it does it quite a bit in the first season there, but yeah, that is strange.
the side characters in this one, it's more of an ensemble cast for sure because she is in like a school, so she has classmates and stuff like that. And the whole concept is she's kind of trying to get this one girl who's very traumatized out of her shell, so she sees her old self in that. It's so good. Ancient Mage's Bride is one of the best series out there in my opinion. Maybe not my anime of the well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll find out yeah, soon. But I'm really enjoying it. It's very good. One of the ones that I'm checking in on when it comes out, as soon as it comes out. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to, once this season is done, just binging season 2 because I did enjoy season 1 and I just know it'll be a good binge. Yeah. But the old bandwidth issue of not wanting to add too many shows to the stable, because this is like we said earlier, there's a lot of good shows this season, so it's easy to let your watch list get a little out of control.
Mike, you did speaking of out of control, is that where you were going with that one?
I don't even whatever I'm speaking of, I'm going to talk about Goblin Slayer instead.
Okay. Goblin D's nuts.
I didn't see that coming. Anyway,
where is it?
I'm looking forward to.
Got him. You guys got to plan out your jokes better. Anyway, Goblin Slayer season 2. I drafted this one without having watched season 1, which is kind of like a scary move, I think, a little bit. That's a bold
Did you
move.
watch season 1 or you just jumped into season 2?
I have watched season 1 and the movie, which is also required to watch before season 2.
Yeah.
You should have just watched season 2. That would have been a bold.
That would have been wild.
That'd be like watching just Fruits Basket, the prequel movie, or just Attack on Titan, the final chapter.
Who would do that?
Yeah, that'd be crazy,
would ever
Jay.
do that?
Yeah, who would ever do that?
Yeah.
Who would invite their friend to do that?
We invited Jay over to watch Attack on Titan. Sorry, I'm just going to talk about it. No, you know what? We'll talk about it when we're talking about it.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah, it'll come up later.
Yeah. Goblin Slayer season 2. As someone who has now watched all of the stuff leading up to this, it's more Goblin Slayer. It really kind of is basically the same thing continued. It's just the main guy, he likes to kill goblins a lot.
Goblin these slayers.
Yeah. I was actually, I'm watching this one.
Got him.
I'm watching this one. Sorry, I was getting bombarded by the drops today. I'm watching this one dubbed, and I find it funny because I think, and I was telling Jay about this, and he was kind of like, oh, that humor kind of didn't come through in the sub. Whereas like when you hear someone say every episode multiple times in your own language, what's that guy doing? Oh, he's probably off slaying goblins. Or what are you going to do today? And he's like, slay some goblins. And then they're like, oh, what do you like to do? And he's like, slay goblins. And that's like half of his lines are just about slaying goblins. It just gets me every time. I kind of chuckle.
His name.
It's literally his name. Yeah.
Don't wear it out.
It's Drive the Bus driver.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun show. Well, kind of a fun show.
Ditch digger.
Yes. Goblin Slayer season 2. You guys have successfully derailed my brain. Just go on to the next one. I can't think anymore.
So this just in, Mike loves Goblin Slayer and all of its aspects. Jay, why don't you tell us about Spy Family season 2 part 18?
Part 18 for sure. It's more Spy Family fun. They're just starting one of the more recent major arcs of the series. And
boat arc.
The boat arc, yeah. And it is pretty good so far. It's more Spy Family still, so like you can basically use that to gauge whether or not you want to check it out. And I feel like if you liked the first season, you're probably checking out this season anyway. But yeah, like, I mean, the animation, the production quality and everything's still on point. The OP is really good, and the ED is also really good.
The ED is like a trip, like it's psychedelic a little bit.
It's like honestly up there for my ED of the season for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because it's just like, it's really good. I like the song, I like the vibe of it all. Yeah, it's just more Spy Family. So
this one and Goblin Slayer like and probably Ancient Mage's Bride too, I feel, and even Eminence and Shadow, like those, we have 3 season 2s in a row basically, or 4 season 2s in a row, and they honestly all just kind of feel like continuations of their previous seasons to me. Like they're like they're really, there's nothing as much has changed other than like some new plot stuff, really. I would say Spy Family, the production value seemed to have even gone up maybe a touch. I do think that there's a little more, they know it's a success now and they're not afraid to put a little more budget into it, even though the first season looked great and sounded great and was great. Yeah, if you didn't vibe with the first season though, it's just more.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the same thing for some like Goblin Slayer or Ancient Mage's Bride. Like, if you didn't vibe with the previous seasons, there's probably nothing here that will. That'll bring you in. But yeah, I know it's the sequel thing.
I know people do complain about Spy Family kind of forgetting about Yora a lot of the time and saying that she doesn't get many arcs.
How could you forget about?
She has a pretty this is literally right now is her arc.
It's a very Yor centric arc. Yeah. She's basically protecting a family-ish, like a mother and her child from assassins on this boat.
Now's the time where I'll jump back in.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of jumping in, good segue. Let's talk about. I feel bad talking about this one. I feel bad talking about this one because it's kind of not fair for you guys. Like, I drafted an OVA on Netflix, and that is Pluto.
Why is that not fair?
Because it's not an anime per se. It's an OVA. I just feel like
it's already done.
It's kind of above what you guys have watched. You know, like it's just better. It's just of a higher quality than anything that you guys have watched.
I kind of actually agree with what you're saying. Like they've probably been working on this anime for like a couple of years now. You can tell because it's like so well done.
Yes.
And it's like a highly esteemed manga by a legendary mangaka. So they definitely, and it's like the legendary mangaka doing a manga that's a riff on another legendary manga. So it's like the layers of respect go deep here.
The roots of the respect tree run deep.
It's kind of sad though, because like not a lot of people are talking about it, and it's kind of because it's stuck in Netflix jail, like JoJo's.
It's not in Netflix jail though. Like they released all of it.
Yeah, but I think like that was the problem. Like it doesn't get that same like weekly hype that every show gets. Like look at when Frieren comes out. Like oh, it's Frieren Friday. Right? Like you get that like excitement, whereas with this show, it's already out. It's already done. Anything that could be talked about has already been.
I think this one will be like in a year or two. It'll be like, oh, have you seen Pluto?
It's a girthy watch too, because like an average 12 episode, 20-minute episode anime is like a 3.5 hour watch time, whereas this is 8 hour long episodes, and they're heavy episodes too.
Yeah, I've only watched the first 2 episodes.
I watched the first 4.
You have watched the first 4? Yeah. They're great. Like the production quality is fantastic. I actually watched the dub of it.
The dub's really good for it.
The dub is really good.
Especially because like, kind of like I said with the dub of Ancient Mage's Bride, this one doesn't really take place in Japan for a lot of it too. So like a dub fits it better than usual even.
Yeah. Like the main character is from Switzerland, I think.
I don't know.
He's from Europe. He works for Interpol. So he might be German or something. I don't know. Like the whole concept is just really cool. It's just such a cool, like, if you like that turn of the century idea of futurism, you know, everything's gilded, everything is like, I don't know. I just love that look.
It's got that
Metropolis look.
It's got so much cool style points to it. Just because it's riffing on Astro Boy, which has style points to begin with.
Yeah.
And then it's Naoki Urasawa doing like his classic style on it. And it's just like such a cool, like Gumshoe Detective meets like retro futurism. It's cool. It's a cool show.
Whoa. And pump the brakes, Mike. Big word reviewer over here.
On Annie list, I'm looking at it right here. It's the 45th most popular all time, and it's the number 4 highest rated OVA of all time already. So it's definitely getting its flowers. I'm not too worried about it. It's getting its flowers.
I don't think it... I think with regards,
I agree.
With regards to what Jay says, I don't think it is one of those shows that lends itself to like the hype train, you know?
No,
I think
heady.
like regardless of what the show is, if it were airing weekly, like I think people would still talk about it because it is good.
Oh, they may.
But we can debate weekly versus content drops on a full episode. That's a girthy topic, right?
Yeah. Mike, speaking of girthy.
Oh, so girthy. I forgot I had this show, actually.
I still haven't watched any of it, and I don't know why. Why don't you tell us about Frieren?
Listen, Frieren. I found out today that when chapter 1 of the manga for this was released, a guy literally read it and said, this must be animated, and started getting the anime in the works, which is why this got animated so quickly. And it's done by Madhouse. I did Frieren. And it is fantastic as well. If I wasn't watching Jujutsu Kaisen still, this would be probably, and you can't really compare Pluto, but like the animation in this is fantastic. It's truly like beautiful at lots of times. And like the story itself is just beautiful as well. Like the whole point of it is that Frieren is an elf with silver hair. Jay. And she's gone on her journey and been successful and come back. And because she's an elf, she lives so much longer than everybody else. And she's never really grown attached to anything before. And then she's kind of realizing that she was attached to her friends that what she went on this adventure with. Even though she kind of keeps saying like, oh, it was only just like a blip in my lifespan. It's not a big deal. But she kind of is realizing more and more like the connection between people is actually what's like really important, and she's kind of getting it a little bit more, and like she's kind of picking up like another band of people to go along with her, and like it can talk about it a lot. It's a fantastic anime. It is definitely getting its love, so I'm not too worried about this one.
Yeah, no, this one I don't think you can be in the anime sphere and not hear about it.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's all deserved. Like it is a fantastic show so far.
I mean, I remember recommending the manga to you, Mike. Like, yeah, it's a really good manga.
I own all of the volumes.
It's a good manga.
Insert meme of Obama giving Obama a medal.
Obama.
Obama D's nuts, because you guys dropped that several times. I will.
Got him!
I got you.
Studio Madhouse, the studio I drafted this season, doing it. Madhouse, just consistently good stuff. They just put out good stuff.
I was going to say always good.
Not
often
always.
Good.
Often. It's trustworthy. Tried and true. Yeah. Frieren, fantastic, beautiful, great show. And you know what? I mentioned this in our Overlord review. Madhouse knows how to do scenery. That's one thing that they really pay attention to. And like the lighting and stuff, they know how to make like things look pretty, and like you could take like screenshots of this show and frame them and put them on your wall, and people would be like, wow, it's a pretty picture.
That's a pretty picture.
That's a pretty picture. Yeah. You know what else is pretty? Pigs.
Jay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your next anime.
My next anime is the best anime airing this season. Uncomparable to anything else. And that is Butareba, which absolutely deserved me drafting it first.
Definitely. Because you were in danger of one of us taking it in the first round. Yeah,
honestly.
Right?
I went back and I was listening to our clip that we released today as of recording.
Yeah.
And you drafting it second, and then Mike saying, I was hoping to get this too in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Just cracked me up.
I was curious about it, right? If it's just like, you took it so quick, I was like, just whirling after that.
All right, Jay, tell us about this pig.
Yeah, so basically, so the story is basically about this guy that gets reincarnated, and it's an isekai where a guy becomes a pig. There's this girl that basically he befriends that is part of a race that can read other people's minds.
Or pigs' minds in this case.
Or pigs' minds. And she then realizes, oh, he's a human because he has like cohesive thought and is actually cognizant. Yeah. So she's like, let's take you to the king because maybe he can make you human again. So basically this is about the two of them heading toward the king to see if he can become human again. And there are other things kind of like going on behind the scenes that that show like kind of what her motivation for doing this is, and like kind of why they're doing this together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you enjoying having to watch every episode of it? Because I know you've committed yourself to it.
No.
We have this little thing where our first picks we have like a gentleman's wager sort of that we have to watch the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So aside from the fact that like it's at least an interesting concept,
I agree with that.
In execution, it just does not work. There are things where like he's like, oh, like let me help you, like do this because it'll be helpful, and she's just like, no, I'm not.
Oh, that sounds like a good plot point. And then she's like, no, not really though.
Or like
just keep staring at my panties.
So there's like a hunter that is like going after them, and he's like, oh, be careful, he might be dangerous, and then she goes up to him and introduces herself.
Oh, so she just doesn't listen.
She just doesn't listen to him. And like
nice.
I'm like,
great.
So what why?
I love when the main character's like ideas are just thrown out the window.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
they're just pointless in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like he's like, I'm not going to reveal myself as a human until I've gained his trust. And then she goes up to him and is like, can you tell him you're a human, please? And she like wears him down, where he eventually tells him, okay, I'm human.
Man, it sounds like you're having a really good time watching this show.
I love this show.
Butareba, don't eat the pig liver or whatever the heck it's called.
I think like it's sitting at like a 57 on AniList right now, which like I think is a bit harsh.
I just checked and it's down to 55.
Yeah. I think that like that rating's a bit harsh, but like it's not really like it's making me wonder why the light novel is as popular as it is in Japan.
It's making me wonder why we do this podcast.
It's making me wonder why anime is still a thing. Yeah.
Now that we talked about that wonderful work of art, let's talk about this kind of mid show. It's not, it's kind of mid.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Apothecary Diaries. Oh my God. It is so good. I thought it would be good. Yeah. And guess what? I thought correctly. This is
really good.
Such a good show. I am on its fishing line, flip-flopping whatever fishes do. Tuna. I'm on the boat deck and I'm getting a rock smashed on my head by that, because it reeled me up and now it's gonna fillet me.
Honestly, Cole, like I
don't know where this metaphor is going.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like where we're going with this.
I'm caught up on it too, and I'm really enjoying it as well.
It's fantastic.
I love the period. I love the story and the characters.
The music's great.
Great.
The animation's great. Mao is best girl, like bar none. It's not even close for me. She is a perfect character. She's just a little bit sassy. She's got cat ears sometimes.
There it is. That's what it is.
She poisons herself.
She's great.
I love when she does her little, when that creepy, what's his name, dude? The
prince guy.
He's
one of the.
He's like a servant, but he's like an upper servant. I forget what his name is.
Yeah,
the pretty boy that all the other girls like blush when he looks their way, and then she just gets creeped out by him. And he like, it's always hilarious because he like will try to like put the moves on her, and then she like visibly is disgusted, and then he gets like happy and like excited that she's disgusted by him. It's just like such a funny little gag, and they do it and I die every time because it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
I like the illness of the week aspect of it too. It's kind of a fun weekly show to watch. It kind of has
like that house vibe to it, where like she's trying to like figure out what's wrong with the patient and like try and.
But it's not even just that. Like sometimes it's just like palace intrigue and like sometimes it's not even a medical or a poison thing. They're just trying to figure stuff out. Yeah,
it's very well written. Like the stuff happens in an interesting way. And they reveal like backstories of like the main character and stuff like Mao and all that in like
And like
it's
all
a
of
slow
it,
burn, but it's good.
all of it serves to build this world and its cast as well. Like nothing feels like it was just done for the sake of doing it, but it all feels meaningful.
No, and yeah, even going off of that, I don't want to gush on this too long. We can move on, but the cast in it's great too. Like all of the characters are enjoyable.
What studio is this one again? I don't remember.
This one is what was the studio?
Studio OLM with
I was going to say the one that Zom 100 was
riffing on.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the shows we're talking about today, we're going to be talking about them for a while because this one's also 24 episodes.
I
and
love
then
it.
Free Ren's gonna be 28 episodes. Like we're deep in these shows.
And how many episodes is the pig liver one?
Too
many.
It's a single core, but
A merciful 12.
yeah.
No, probably 13.
That's 12 too
just
many.
To stick it to you.
I've watched the first episode, Jay. I am so sorry. Is there any other shows that you guys are watching this season?
I'm watching a lot.
Yeah, maybe we'll just kind of list some because we don't want to run too long, but we'll kind of go in turns maybe if we have some ones we're on.
I'm not watching anything. Like honestly, I am watching all of the shows that I drafted, but as a result of that, I am not watching anything else.
That's fair. That's honestly that's what I would hope you would do. At least watch these shows.
Yeah, at least watch the shows you're supposed to watch.
Yeah. And if you're enjoying them all, then bonus too, right?
No, I mean that's the thing. I'm not seeking anything else,
Jay,
which is nice.
You go first because I know you're dying inside.
I do have I think there's just one that I want to point out, or two that I want to point out. The first one that I don't think I've actually talked with you guys about, but it's Tearmoon Empire.
I've been curious about this show actually.
I'm caught up on it, and like it's actually a lot of fun. It's basically like imagine Marie Antoinette getting sent back to her younger childhood days, right before she's about to go on a date with Guillotine Kun, and it's basically about her trying to avoid that date with Guillotine Kun.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so like basically she has this diary that tells her about the future because like when she does stuff, obviously the future changes. So like her memories and the things that like are set to happen start getting a bit askew.
A Mirai Nikki, if you will.
Yeah.
A future diary.
A future diary, right. You know, the one and only future diary that exists ever. There's never been another one. Never, ever, ever.
Never.
I do enjoy a nice shoujo romp too.
No,
it definitely looks like it.
It's a very fun shoujo romp that like I like the intelligent aspect to it where she's like trying to figure out how to get out of this, but also like sometimes she just like stumbles her way to success, and that's like kind of funny. So like it's kind of got like that mix of like Eminence and Shadow. It's got like shoujo. It's got like a bit of like ReZero, bit of like kind of like that like that kingdom management feel to it as well.
Okay, it's got a lot going on.
It's got a lot going on, but like it's a lot of fun. And I would recommend at least checking out the first 3 episodes if this idea interests you. And her catchphrase of Desuwa is adorable and funny.
Very good.
So yeah, if it interests you, check it out on Crunchyroll.
Yes. I am watching another show on Crunchyroll called MF Ghost. It's like a spiritual successor to Initial D. And yes, the OP and the soundtrack does slap. It's like very like Eurobeat EDM greatness.
Mother Ghost.
Yes. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to give Cole work. But yes, I say that every time I see the name. And Shazana has walked in on me like when it's on the screen, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And then I show her the name, and she's like, "Mother Ghost." And it's great. It is a little, I would be lying if I said it was a perfect anime for sure.
Yeah.
It's fun though. It's interesting if you like cars and like racing and stuff like that, which I do. It definitely hits the spot. It makes me really want to watch Initial D. If I wasn't watching so many shows this season, I'd throw Initial D into the lineup because it is quite fun. But I've heard it deviates from the Initial D spirit a little bit because this guy is like He's not Japanese, the main character. He actually, I'm watching the dub, and he has like an English. They actually got like an English person to do the dub for him, and he actually has English. Like yeah. He's like not doing a voice. He's like just doing his normal voice. It's kind of cool. You don't hear that too often. It's very strange though, because like there's a main girl in it, and she like falls in love with him the second she sees him. And it's just like so many things are just kind of weird, but it's fun, and it's who cares? It's a good time. I would recommend it. Yeah, if you think you'd like it, you probably will. That's what I would say. It's kind of exactly what you think it's going to be. Now, Jay, what's your next show you're watching?
The next show I'm watching, and this is probably the elephant in the room that we haven't discussed, and that's Shangri-La Frontier.
You stole one of mine. That's what I want to talk about next.
I know a lot of people are really enjoying this show, and I 100% see why. It's a very well-produced, well-animated
It looks so
show.
good.
It's gorgeous.
It looks
like,
so good.
Its backgrounds, its lighting, just everything about it is gorgeous. I will say, like, if you're looking for like a very plot-heavy show, it's not that. It's much more about just like a bunch of people enjoying video game.
It's in the genre I would call like gamer fan service kind of.
Yeah, like I'd say something like Log Horizon or Infinite Dendrogram, which like if that turns you off, the Infinite Dendrogram anime adaptation is a terrible adaptation of the light novel. But this is much more like just fun, people enjoying a video game, and like the video game actually feels like an actual video game.
Yeah, it really does. Like there are lots of fun things, because like the main character, I guess the setup is basically the main character loves playing like terrible video games, and it doesn't really explain why. It's just like something that he likes to do as a hobby. Yeah, and then like he finally gets convinced to like play like the most popular, highest rated game, like the really acclaimed one, and then he's like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" Yeah. As you would, right?
As you would, because there's no like bugs or anything in the game that like he's used to.
The opening scene of this show definitely set the tone and like blew me away, because it was like just not. It starts off with like the main character beating like one of these bad games. And you're like, okay, it's just your typical like gaming show or whatever. He's super strong and successful. Yeah, and then he like.
Just decks
he decks the cute elf princess that he's been helping, because he's just like, you've been the worst this whole time. Yeah, it's really funny. It's a really funny show, and it definitely has a lot of like gamer humor in it too. It's a cool show. I'm a little nervous that I might lose interest in it, because I can kind of feel it. But like you said, it's not super plot heavy. And I could see as we go that it might lose a bit of steam.
I can definitely see that. I think that like at this point in time, it does enough that like it's keeping my interest, especially like after this most recent episode. I really like just like the current situation that's going on. I think that that's pretty interesting. But if you're looking for something fun to watch with like a really, really great production value, I'd say definitely check this out on Crunchyroll.
Okay, since you stole the one I was going to talk about, Cole, let's do a quick talk on the Attack on Titan final chapters.
Let's talk about Attack on Titan final ending.
It's definitely getting its flowers, is what I'll say. Some of them feel
praise.
A little bit more of like a, you know, when in sports, sometimes the guy who wins MVP wasn't maybe the best guy that year. Like maybe he was really good, but maybe there was someone who's a little bit better than him, but he still gets like the MVP, gets a 10 out of 10. That's kind of what I feel is happening here. Kind of like the end game of Attack on Titan, like the Avengers end game.
It's the swan song, you know? Yeah. It's the finale to this thing that's been going on for so long, and something that meant a lot to a lot of anime fans.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's something for the haters to hate on.
Absolutely. The haters are out there, and they talk to me every time I tell someone I love Attack on Titan. But I truly watched this finale having read the manga and knowing I was going to like it. I watched it and was still kind of blown away. Like I really enjoyed it a lot, and it felt like a great send off. I know lots of people don't like the ending. I have no problems with it. I think it's a fine ending. Endings
fine.
are tough. Endings are always tough.
I think a lot of, first of all, like, I didn't like the ending, but I think a lot of, like, first of all, I don't like Attack on Titan, so, like, that's fair. But
really?
Second of all, I think that, like, a lot of people had a certain idea of how something was in Attack on Titan.
That's everything, though.
And
That's
when that was, I just don't want to spoil it, but like
you can't really talk about it without spoiling it, right?
yeah.
So, yeah.
I think what Jay's trying to say is, or maybe not. Maybe I'm inferring something that he's not saying. But when something is popular, or as popular as this is, people have their own theories in their head about how it's going to end. And it's inevitably not going to be that.
Yes.
So that's what disappoints some people.
That's definitely true. That's not where I was going with that, but you're not wrong.
Okay.
Never wrong.
The other one I see too is, like, I think a lot of people think that the final season Eren, like, post time skip, where he's like a badass genocidal maniac kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he's like being like all Sigma and all that stuff is like the real Eren. That's if that's what you're into, that's not what this show is about. This show is a anti-war, anti-hate message.
So Mike kind of touched on what I was trying to say a bit more.
Okay.
I think people like tried to self-insert themselves into Eren being like, he's so cool. He's like, look at this Giga Chad being so cool. And then,
that's
like,
the people
they find
who I think
out,
don't like the ending.
and then they find out that he's like not that, and they were kind of like, my cool Giga Chad wasn't the cool Giga Chad I thought he was. This is the worst ending ever.
Yeah. It's almost
like it's kind of like watching what was that movie? It's like watching Fight Club, or no, it's like watching American Psycho and thinking that, like, Christian Bale's character is like the coolest dude ever. When actually
it's like watching Wolf of Wall Street and thinking Leonardo DiCaprio is like the hero when he's
actually the bad guy.
He's supposed to be the bad guy.
You're supposed to not like him, even though he's super charismatic.
That's the point, though.
Anyway, I felt that we'd be doing a disservice by not talking about Attack on Titan a little bit.
Yeah. I don't like Attack on Titan, but I think that
I saw you rated it a generous 6 on your Annie list, and I would commend you for that. Thank you, because you have to at least admit the animation and the soundtrack and everything was fantastic.
And the voice acting's
insane. I teared up so hard when Armin started crying at the end.
Armin's voice actor put in the work.
Like,
on this
I don't know. I think if I were to give it like a 5 or a 4, like, that would just be me being spiteful.
You are spiteful.
You kind of are.
We all are spiteful.
We're all spiteful. It's fun to be a little spiteful.
No, I just genuinely don't like Attack on Titan. I don't know.
That's valid. Yeah. You don't have to.
But, like, there is definitely stuff there that I can understand why people would enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not my it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's not your cup of tea, and that's okay. That's fine.
But you know what is my cup of tea? Real quick.
What?
Hit us with one more cup of tea.
Ron Kaminohashi.
Oh,
I was wondering about this one.
A lot of fun. So the basic premise of this show is it's basically about a detective that quit being a detective, but was basically brought back in by the surrogate narrator character to help him solve mysteries. And the reason this detective quit is because whenever he solves a murder case, he uses his Gios on people, or on the culprit, to get them to unalive themselves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that premise is really cool. It's by the same author as Reborn or Eldlive or things like that. The same author as the character designer for Psychopaths.
We did a watch party for this one. This is what Cole's going to bring up. And yeah, actually, Cole, you tell the story.
Yeah, we did a watch party of it, and I was enjoying it. You know, it's like a Sherlockian, Sherlock type thing. You know, we've got our Sherlock and we've got our Watson, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the episode, there was this Gios thing, and I have never seen the chat
explode
like it did when that happened. We were all caught off guard.
It was such a rug pull moment. It took
this good show to an even better good show.
It's a
good show.
It's a very unique premise. I could definitely see, like Mike was saying about Shangri-La, kind of like it losing its luster. after a while.
Kind of the what's the show with Dick, the what's his name guy?
Detective Conan.
No, I'm
Dick
thinking
Tracy.
With this Bang and OP and the Kong Ming. Kong Ming is what I think of. It has a bit of a Kong Ming vibe where it's like, wow, that's a crazy show, and then the gag wears
just
off.
kind of like, that's a crazy concept. Where are they going to go with this now?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? I definitely think like it's worth checking out because it has an interesting idea, and the chemistry between Ron and Toto is pretty interesting. But
I plan to watch more of it. I've only watched the one episode so far.
I'm caught up.
Shazana has asked me about it too.
It's about more of the same, but like I do like the mysteries that are done. I think that they are definitely well thought out.
In a less packed season, I would be watching this. Yeah. Should we?
I hate to cut your guys' session short.
Fun. Yeah, you could say fun.
Yeah, you're fun. Yeah. You know me. I am not a supporter of fun. I am a supporter of the Anime Protagonist podcast. And if you like the Anime Protagonist podcast, you can give us a like, review, subscribe, tell a friend all about us.
Smash that like
5
button.
stars. Smash that like button, ring that bell. Follow us on social media at AniProPod. Join our Discord if you want. Links to everything is at our website, AniProPod.com.
Yep. It's in the description.
Yeah, it's in the description. Our Discord, you can do things like we got our watch parties. I think we talked about it a couple times this episode. We've got games. You can chat with us. That's the best way to get in touch with us. If you really like us, why don't you consider supporting us on Patreon? You get an early episode. You get a bonus episode once a month, extra vote in votes and whatnot. You get a special chat in the Discord, priority mailbag. Lots of fun stuff. You also get mentioned, like these wonderful people at the end of every episode: Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Brain Dead B-Dog, Super Mexi, Peach, Frama, Kratost, and Just.
Give them the applause. Give them the applause.
Yeah.
They're the true heroes. They keep the lights on here in the studio, right?
They keep the lights on in the studio, along with our sponsor for this week's episode, Tokyo Treat. Just a reminder, you get $5 off your first order. Your first box. Your first box using the link in the description with the code AniPro, ANIPRO. And you, if you have space in your heart, why don't you consider donating to our Movember campaign for this month as well?
Yes. And then if you're not feeling if you don't got money to spend, don't worry. You don't have to give us your money. Don't worry about that.
No, of course not.
Leave us Apple Podcasts reviews. They really help out our rankings and stuff. And we watch those like hawks. We got a new one, though. That's why I'm interrupting Cole's little spiel here, because I like reading them to give them a little shout out for helping us out.
I like when you read them, and this is a good way to end the pod, I think.
Yes, it's a nice little bit of positivity here to end the pod. The Slay left us a review on Halloween. Is this 10/31? Is that Halloween?
That's Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah,
October
that's Halloween.
31st,
They were listening on Halloween, and they left us a spooky review. They left us Jay's highest praise he's ever given me. He wrote, "It's good. Listening to this podcast helps my 10-hour workday go by. The only problem I have is I'm running out of episodes to listen to." And that's, you know what? That's a good problem to have. We're going to keep putting them out for you.
Well, I mean, you get extra episodes on our Patreon.
That's true. There's bonus episodes and the vault there.
The vault, our infamous...
I wouldn't listen to those
episodes. I mean, hey, if you're a completionist, sure.
If you want to hear how this podcast started, go check out the vault on Patreon.
Yeah. Yes.
I was really... No, I'll talk about this off air. That's it for this week. We'll be back next week, but until we come back next week, we say, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say it, Horimiya character that I don't remember the name of.
Remy.
You have to say it.
No. She's going to say it right now, Remy.
Bye-bye.